what do you do with time from a psychodramatic point of view? It can be any time, the time of the protagonist.
Correct. We're still a bit too loud. It is the protagonist we follow in time and space.
Mm-hmm.
They set the scene. And they can even set it in surplus reality if it has never happened, but should have happened. Because people don't realize psychodrama is not only about what happened, but what should have happened at that time, in that place.
Yeah. Talking about time, when we think about the duration of the psychodrama sessions.
That's a very important point. We had our own place. It was ideal. We could go as long as we needed to for the protagonist. We could go an hour and a half, 2 hours. You don't have that luxury in this setting. In most settings, you have only so much time. So we began to look more, when we were training students, to look more at the time period for this session, which was reasonable for them to accomplish when they went home.
Mm-hmm.
And in some places it's less than an hour. Now that's not ideal, but it can be done. And in fact, I had the experience. I came to Arizona to do a demonstration, and when we entered the room, which was in a medical center, mental health sector, the doctor in charge said to me, you can only have the session here for an hour because something else is scheduled here. Now, I had 18 patients. I worked with a suicidal patient, and we completed the session in 55 minutes. So you gauge it according to the amount of time you have. You may have to skip some of the details that you would prefer to have there, but you may have to do that, to be realistic. And everybody shared. I mean, nothing was left undone if it speeded up.
Mm-hmm. But isn't there a risk that you, because of having to rush, we sacrifice something?
No, it didn't feel rushed. It felt intensified. Because I didn't waste any space, any time asking unnecessary questions or making unnecessary moves.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, that's become my pattern now that when I work weekends, I try, if I can, to give everyone there, because it's a small room, in those 3 days, to have a chance to do a piece of work. And you know, Moreno taught me the human being doesn't require always 100% satisfaction. 60%, 70%, 75%, and it carries it anyway, because the impact is important. I mean, you can spend an hour with someone and do absolutely nothing. We had a little boy who was brought to us, and we found out that the reason he wasn't getting any better was he didn't do anything, didn't talk. And the therapist went on and on and on. I mean, I think that's very unethical. And the parents couldn't understand why there was no change. But so Moreno asked him to show us what his session with the therapist was like. And the kid just sat there.
Hmm.
Didn't relate. So it's not so much how much time you have. It's like our life. You don't know how much time you're going to have. You might be gone tomorrow. But it's what you do with the time that you have that's important. And that's true in psychodrama too.
Mm-hmm.